There's no cure for the common cold, but was grandmother onto something when she started serving up the chicken noodle soup? So is it tradition or does it actually work? Well, in today's Fit or Fiction, health and wellness reporter Alana Momany is here to tell us if chicken noodle soup is actually good for the cold and not just the soul. Right?
That's cute, Matt. That's very cute. Yeah, no, people have been using chicken soup to cure congestion for years. It's definitely a more natural and less side effect option than your typical over-the-counter medications.
Yeah, I know it works for me, but I wasn't sure if it was a mental thing or it actually did work.
No, it definitely works. I mean, any liquid or steamy broth is going to loosen the mucus and loosen congestion. So in that sense, like that's the main component of the soup that's helpful. And it speeds up the flow of the mucus, so it actually reduces the amount of time that the virus stays on the nasal passageways, which will speed up recovery. It also prevents dehydration, which also helps sort of reduce those cold symptoms, and the salty broth will help soothe a sore throat. So lots of benefits here.
Now, is it better than hot water?
It's interesting. They did a study a few years ago out of Miami, and it showed they looked at people who drank hot water and chicken soup, and sure enough, as I just mentioned about the broth, hot water did help, but chicken soup helped the most.
Is there any science behind that?
There is science. There was a study done, a really well done study out of the Journal of Chest that looked at chicken soup and whether it actually has an effect on the cold, and sure enough, Grandma does know best. There are real clinical anti-inflammatory properties to chicken soup that can reduce cold symptoms.
Now, is there a difference between the homemade chicken noodle soup or the canned soup?
So the study actually tested 13 different canned soup varieties, and they did find that most of them work just the same as fresh soup. Now, I want to say that with a disclaimer, fresh is always best. It has more antioxidants, and there's chemicals lurking in these cans like BPA that we've been hearing about, so you definitely want to be careful.
Now, is there a specific ingredient that should be included in the chicken noodle soup or that's making it work?
Yeah, it's a really good question. That's actually what's really interesting about this study. They couldn't weed out which particular ingredient was helping the cold symptoms, subside. It's really the totality of the soup, that magical something that's making it work the best.
Maybe it's a little bit of grandma's love in there.
Probably. But what they did find is that the special substance is something in the broth, and that's why to reduce cold symptoms, nobody suggests pureed carrots. It's the actual soup that works.
Okay. So I think your verdict is pretty clear here.
Yeah, this is definitely fit. I mean, not to mention all of the antioxidants that are in the soup already. The broth clears congestion. This is a sure thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Z. Grandma was right all along.